did I meet my ex?
Flying in the wind. They flowing in the wind.
The top part. She just changed the top part.
Look at that.
Trey, show them the whole part.
Oh, okay.
These are why you wear these pants. This is why you
Okay. Got a little big ass right there. Look at that. Okay.
Alright, come on.
What you got on, Gibby, man?
What's up? What's up, guys? It's your girl, Ariana, that cute little brown girl. Everybody want a little taste of. And today, guys, we're getting right into the tea. How did I meet my ex? So I had a very public social media relationship. It is not a secret. It's been very public since the very beginning, from the moment that we laid eyes on each other. Or should I say the moment that he placed his arm around me.
Time.
Go talk to Airi.
Yeah, y'all didn't even see the camera over there. Look.
Y'all make it seem like y'all brought some mess to her.
Look, you good?
Look, we got all the. It was a prank, y'all.
I was fake sleep.
A
whole lot of gang.
Okay, so how I met my ex is he came with, can I say names on here? Cause y'all know they names. Is that messy to say their names? No? Can I just do it? I'm gonna do it. So, King, Carmen, Corey, Neek, Chris, and Trey all met each other somehow, some way, and had already linked up. They did a trip before, and then they all came to Houston. They were supposed to link up with Damien and Bianca to do some collabs or something. Damien didn't message back, or something happened where King, who was supposed to do a collab in his group, I don't know what their plans was, but they had some plans, and they were supposed to either link with Damien and Bianca or supposed to link with the Armands and the Trays and them. I am not sure. I just remember them kind of coming over, and when they came over, King had my mom's number because they met around the time when King came over to Armand and Trey's house with Funny Mike. That's how we met Funny Mike. And at that time with Funny Mike, that's when we get into the whole crush video. That's when we get into the whole headache gang. And at that time, Funny Mike wasn't making any money off of YouTube. His CPM was like $1. And the suggestion was for him to not, to stop cussing, change the head game. He wanted to stop being crackhead Bobby. And I had forgot all about that until my mom had told me. And I was like, no, like, he didn't really come in through the group. And she was like, what are you talking about? She was like, yeah, just because he went the kid route, but that pivotal moment changed when he came. He did the videos with Jad. That's a whole nother story. So at this time, just to give a little context, the numbers of the other groups are growing. So you got these new YouTubers that are coming into the city who are wanting to collab. They might say yes, they might say no. It's kind of iffy. They might hit you back up. It's really a risk when you are linking up with other creators. At this time, I'm in between getting ready to possibly move. I've been looking at apartments in between. Me and Queen are supposed to be getting our own place together. We're gonna be like these moms. We're single. We're putting our kids together. We're gonna raise them. We're on this. So this is kind of happening on the back end in the sense of me looking at places. I remember when she's like, these kids, like, some people are gonna come over, we're gonna meet, and I was like, okay. And they came in, I'm opening up the door, and they're all coming in. I'm like, hi. My mom talks to them, they have their little meeting or whatever. Corey actually doesn't come in. He doesn't come in because he believes that Damien and my mom are beefing, and he really wants to work with Damien. Like, at this time, this is somebody that he wants to work with. And now, I'm not familiar, but I'm familiar with little information of he was a supporter of DNB Nation, the Prince family, and used to message him and say like, we look up to you, I don't know. So that is the story of how my mom kind of knew, like, oh, he's not coming, that's probably why, because he likes this person. And so it was this whole little thing. And they wanted to do some collabs. They still didn't hear back from whoever they were supposed to collab with. And so, my mom's like, if you guys want to get something for a bang of your buck. And at this time, King is like, I seen what you were doing at the other house. I seen what you did for Funny. I seen what you did with other people. So he's more like trustworthy at this time, and he's willing and open and things like that. I don't remember how long the conversation was, if people left. I do just remember kind of seeing everybody on a white couch. I don't remember in specific detail, but that's how I end up meeting Trey, because he came with King and them to Houston when they came, and King came to meet my mom, and he brought who was with him, riding in the car with him or whatever, along, and they came inside besides sitting in the car. And the next time that they all left, they probably got in a huddle, talked about the meeting, how they felt about us, things like that. And then they end up coming back. And when they came back this time, Corey ended up coming inside. Corey came inside, and I just remember the moment that whatever my mom said to him, I think she showed him a text message. She showed him something that made him go, oh wait, maybe what I'm seeing on social media or what I've heard isn't actually true, because what is happening not on the screen of how we make our money is actually different than what's going on. So that's how I ended up meeting him. At this time, they didn't know that I had a kid, and we all went to Chili's. Me, King, I think Carmen might have been with us, or I don't remember a lot of Corey at this time until he like came around. But at this time, we all went to Chili's one of these nights, and we were talking. I'm telling him how I make my money. You know, I make my stuff from brand deals, and you know how I'm doing it. You know, I'm putting them hip, like, you know, get the hair, do you want to do this, and this is how I go about it, because I can't help it. It's like once I get to going, I get to going, and I just love helping. I love YouTube. I love the business, the brand, the marketing of it. That's what I went to school for. We went to Chili's, and I remember sitting at the table, and there was a conversation. I asked everybody at the table. I have this thing where I ask people, how do they feel about people with kids? They're obviously in a relationship, so I'm not vetting him, but there's two single dudes that are at the table. I mean, they not hideous, you know, so I'm just trying to see what are things looking like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, because this could possibly be something, you know. I'm like, you know, so I'm like, hey, what's up? So I'm asking questions, and I asked the most important question: how do you feel about kids? One red flag I had missed, and I should have completely, don't judge me, but the red flag was that he was like, no, I would never talk to anybody with kids. Again, at this time, no one knows I have kids. Chris is like, yeah, like I've talked to somebody with a kid, and da 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 da, and he's going down the story, da 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 da. But I just don't feel that way about him. I'm just looking at him like, yeah, wow, okay, cool. I don't feel that way about either one of them. I'm just looking at him like, okay, cool. That must be that Atlanta stuff. I don't know. I don't like that. So then we end up having a conversation where later on that night, when we leave from there and we get back to my house, they find out that Daniel is actually my son. Or in that conversation, I end up saying like, well, I think it might have been, how about you? And I was like, well, I would prefer not to date somebody with a kid, but I do have one, so that's not really realistic for me, like, to think that way, because I wouldn't want nobody to think that way because of me. And so that was it. It wasn't no like correcting type of moment, but I remember telling my mom like, yeah, I would never talk to him, because she was like, you don't think? I was like, no, I would never talk to him, girl. He said he wouldn't talk to nobody with kids. Next thing I know, somehow later on down the line, we get to the point of them moving to Houston. My mom was friends with a realtor who had a place that was open, and this realtor had helped everybody else that we were connected to kind of find their places. So it was like, once you meet somebody, you kind of like connected. Just like when I started getting my nails done, people ask where you go, you say you go here, come with me, then you start going. Then when you don't go and they get their nails done every 3 weeks or every 3 days, they're going a lot, they're bringing their friends, and now your girl booked and you can't even get in no more, and she forgot that you brought her over in the first freaking place. I gotta get contracts around here. But no, on a serious note, let me see what happened after that. There was a conversation about like us deciding like to move in with each other. We had ran some videos, and that's when we would do like our chain reaction. The videos, how they went was that each person was doing a prank at the same time and didn't even know that the prank was happening at the same time. The camera just kept rolling. So once one started, the next one would start. It was like it was like watching like a brawl, like a one person start fighting and the other. It's like watching a fool fight happen, and that chemistry just ignited something that became Just Crazy Clout Gang. Then it was because they were already calling themselves something, so then we had to add the J in it before for Just Airi. And we did the Would You Rather, and we don't even know each other enough at this point. We're just doing videos, we're just creating content. And at that time, their Airbnb, they was out, so they was staying at our house. We had air mattresses set up in this room, in the office, in the library. The girls are just newly pregnant. We didn't know they were pregnant, but now we know they're pregnant. So like, you know, we know they're pregnant now, and they're baby bumps at this point, like, you know, like what? So so of course, you know, we made sure that I don't think Carmen stayed. I don't know where her and Corey was at. I just remember Nick, King, Chris, and Trey for sure. yeah, and during that time, y'all, we had some of the most viralist videos that was going on, and it was just eating. So after that, when you see the numbers, we having a conversation like, y'all, let's do this. Especially because from me and my mom, we came from this before. We know what happens when you put people in a house together. It's not only the chemistry, it's the accountability, and also if you have the right structure and the right plan and ideal, you'll have things that can be birthed like your AMPs, you know what I'm saying? But it takes those trials and errors of those other groups that just couldn't stick it out and take the plan to go bigger and bigger. When we were first getting our checks, the whole plan was to take the money and to keep getting bigger and bigger houses. What happened was people started getting their own houses. And so it wasn't no longer, you know, people started having it was no longer a family. It was like a, once we get our money, we're going our own way. There is no forever and ever. We're not the New Jersey Shore where we can have 13 seasons, fall out or fall in and make this money. That just wasn't the mindset, unfortunately, at that time. Me and my ex, we was strictly like just associates and things like that. I did not look at him in that way until we were having a conversation once he moved back. Once they officially moved to Houston and they dropped out of school, left their jobs, left their family, left their homes because they believed in it, and we believed in it too. Like, you're making money a little bit already off of YouTube, but we're talking about going from $3,000 checks on, or $800 check. We're talking about going from $800 checks on YouTube to almost 25,000, 30,000, 50,000. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about crazy checks. And you know, some people had to split, some people weren't in couples, they did not have to split their money. But you know, we all got our bills and responsibilities. And we were having a conversation. He was taking me from my mom's house back to our house that we all lived in, the Birch Maple house. And I just remember him saying, like, I just wanted to tell you, like, I had a bad experience when I dated somebody with a kid, and like, I don't have anything against people with kids. Like, I will talk to somebody with kids, And at that moment, now my guard is down because I'm like, oh, it was just a misunderstanding. You didn't know me, so I didn't know the story. We know each other a lot more better now. So boom. At this point, y'all, I'm like, okay. And I'm like, why would he tell me that? That must mean that he liked me, or he want me to like him, because I said I would never talk to nobody who wasn't accepting of a child, because that's unacceptable for me. Like, that's non-negotiable. And so, you know, here I am putting my guard down. So I'm like, okay, so now I'm looking at him different. I'm looking at him like, okay, what's that? I thought he was cute, and like, we had like little flirty moments, but the flirting, official flirting, talking, and when me and him really started like messing around, happened after I got my surgery. After I got my surgery, it's a specific video that I am walking. Oh my goodness, I'm walking, and he says like a comment like about my shape or whatever. But this is before I get the surgery. This is me working out, because my mindset was I do everything natural before I would go cosmetic. Ding. Now, y'all, we're not gonna talk about these. This is a different story. Don't get on me right now. Don't worry about it. It is not your mouth. It is mine, and I look cute with them, and I like them, and okay, that's not your problem. Okay, you're talking about somebody, like, don't do that. That's like mean. It has nothing to do with you. Like, it's my pockets, it's my mouth. I'm fine. Like, okay, like, do I need to get a testimonial from my dentist on here or what? Leave me alone. Stop asking me about it. You asking people how they got it. Like, what if I was 72? What if these were stuck on here? What if I can't afford it? Are you gonna help me? What, like, if I tell y'all I need something, I'm like, hey, y'all, you know, y'all please help me, go fund me so I can become the #1 influencer. Are y'all gonna do it? Because it's down in the description below. So in that video, it's us walking around the neighborhood, me, him, Neek, and King, Neek, and maybe King and Chris. Yeah, but we're walking around the neighborhood, and in that video we come back. When we come back, King and Neek have their own bedroom, because they're in the master bedroom, so they have their own shower and stuff. Neek is also pregnant, things like that, so they have their own room. Me, Chris, Trey share a bathroom, so that means that our bathroom, whoever goes first, other two people, you gotta wait, duh. So when Chris, he takes a shower first, me and Trey are in the front living room where the futons were at, and we were having a conversation. And in that conversation, we were talking about how coming into this industry and trying to date and be with people is scary, because we're building something so fast, so lasting, so life-changing. You don't want people around you just messing with you for nothing. But we lonely, but we bored. We don't know nobody in Houston. We don't have no friends there and things like that. But we don't know nobody in Houston and all of that. So it's like, what are we doing? It's almost like one of those it was like we was sitting there like, dang, man. Like, I felt like the best conversation was thinking about people in the military, and they like, man, like, it's been a minute since somebody told me I looked cute. It's been a minute since somebody told me, like, it's been a minute since I had a hug. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't talked to nobody since I left from my home. Like, even the other, think about it, I'm texting and talking and I'm FaceTime and all this stuff, but I ain't physically, like, I ain't been around nobody, no dates, no nothing, child. And somebody's in my face right here, and we having a clear understanding. So our agreement was like, you know, we're gonna like talk to each other, but we're like not gonna catch, we pretty much set up a situationship, that it will be called now. We set up a situationship that like we would talk, here's the basis, here's the rules, and it will be just this. If you catch feelings, you'll let me know. If I catch feelings, you'll let me know, and I'll let you know, and you know, we'll go from there. At that time, if the person confesses feelings and you feel the same way, cool. If they don't, then it's cool, no bad blood, we're gonna go our separate ways. We're gonna keep it separate from everybody. Like, we're not gonna say nothing to nobody because we don't want people in our business. And that was the day that we started messing with each other. that was the day. So literally that next morning we were like hanging out. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm telling y'all this stuff crazy. So the next day, y'all, we was hanging out, we was going on little mini dates, y'all. We was going in his car, we was going up to Walmart. We was just with each other as much as we possibly could. That's why we was sneaking out when I went and got my PlayStation. Like, we was just real low key. That's why I let everybody come with me to LA, because I wanted him to come with me. And this one time they was at Popeyes, we waited until everybody ordered their food, and we was like, right when they ordered, we was like, yeah, our Uber was already outside. We had it already ready, y'all. We got that Uber and we dipped and we left them. Then my key wasn't working to the hotel, but everything was under my name, so I had to go to the desk. It was so crazy, and we only had a little bit of time to hang out, to do anything. If we wanted to eat, if we wanted to talk, if we just wanted to cuddle up, we just wanted to be flirtatious, any of that. I had to change his name in my phone, he had to change my name in his phone. Well, not really change my name in his phone because nobody was in his phone, but we tell y'all all the time, Neek she was not playing. She was on us. She was on us. And then when we would get turned up and stuff, I would just say little stuff like, you know, like it was more that started happening because I feel like we went to Miami, right? We went to Miami. I had these braids like this on my head. I don't know why I had that hairstyle on my head. And I had just got me a new chain from the sneaker games. I had like a jersey on. I don't know, I can't remember, but that is the story, y'all. That's how we met, that's how we began. If you want more and more specific from that, please let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so with that being said, like, comment, and subscribe, turn on post notifications, and hit that thumbs up button, comment down below. Team Airi all day, every day. If you didn't know, now you know. Let me know the next story time, okay? And I will be bringing that to you, okay? Mocha Princess signing out.